What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of The Real Breakdown. Roger, Kate, here to continue our rewatch of Avatar The Last Airbender. Previously, we did the first episode, Boy in the Iceberg. So we're about to do episode 2 from book 1. We've seen this show multiple times. We know what's going to happen. We're doing a rewatch and kind of doing a deep dive into what we love about the show, what we thought could have been done better. You know, just talking about some of the things that we really enjoy as far as, you know, character development, storylines, our first experience with it, and what we thought was going to happen. So all that kinds of stuff. So if you have not seen Avatar The Last Airbender yet, save this to your watch later and then come back to it so you can watch it and, you know, comment with us. So, guys, let's get started.
Water.
It is. It was the next one.
Fire. Air. Long ago, the four nations lived together in harmony. Then, everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked. Only the Avatar.
This intro is so iconic, I have it memorized.
But when the world needed him most,
We didn't even know who Roku was yet.
I know.
100 years passed and my brother and I discovered the new Avatar, an airbender named Aang. And although his airbending skills are great, he has a lot to learn before he's ready to save anyone.
But I believe Aang can save the world. Chapter 2, The Avatar Returns.
The Walk of Shame.
Mm-hmm. They're like, saltiest?
Like, boy, who do you think you are?
I knew it! You signaled the Fire Navy with that flare! You're leading them straight to us, aren't you?
Aang didn't do anything. It was an accident.
Yeah, we were on the ship and there was this booby trap and, well, we boobied right into it.
You shouldn't have gone on that ship. Now we could all be in danger.
Don't blame
That's true.
Katara. I brought her there.
That's a little
You're
extreme.
making a mistake.
Is he?
No,
He's not even the
I'm keeping
leader,
my
is he?
promise to Dad.
Yeah, he kind of
Protecting you
is.
From threats like him.
But then he
Aang
couldn't just
is
leave
not
like
our
that.
enemy.
Well, he's not the leader, but...
See?
Get out of our village, now!
Grandmother, please, don't let Sokka do this.
Katara, you knew going on that ship was forbidden. I think it best if the airbender leaves.
Who are those two chicks?
Then I'm banished too. Come on, Aang, let's go. Aang is taking me to the North Pole.
I am? Great.
Katara! Would you really choose him over your tribe? Your own family?
Damn. I like that they made him do, like,
So, you're leaving the
almost
South
make these
Pole?
drastic decisions because there's children, they're still kids, you know, they're
Thanks for
like,
penguin sliding with me.
they're like 12,
Where you
14
go?
years old.
Guess I'll go back home and look for the
And
airbenders.
yeah, you have mood swings and you say dumb things and then you almost make stupid decisions, so...
Yeah,
Not
they
looking
act on
forward to
emotion.
that.
They don't have experience to base anything off of.
It was
So,
nice meeting
makes sense.
everyone.
He's like, nah, fam, I'm still tired, bro.
Yeah, I thought so!
Hey, don't go. I'll miss you. I'll miss you too.
I always want to call her Coco, but
Yeah, but that's the other girl.
that's in, like, the next episode.
It's crazy that Sokka and Aang were
Come on.
almost enemies.
I know. And he actually says it later on in the season. He's like, at first I wasn't sure about Aang, but then I came to love her.
You happy now? There goes my one chance of becoming a waterbender.
Yeah, Gran.
I mean, she's right though. I'd be mad too.
The village.
That villain score. Dun, 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 dun. I like this. I like all the tradition, the culture that they bring in, like
Yeah, the face. I've always loved that face paint.
the face paint, and then like later with the Kyoshi warriors, like, and then like we see both sides to it, and they do this a lot in the show where like you see both sides, the good, the bad. That's why in the first episode we get introduced to both the good and the bad, and we get an even like understanding of both of them. They all hid and then they just came out.
Right.
It's weird. I don't think we ever see Zuko in that headgear ever again.
Yeah,
Osaka.
no.
His little feet.
He be about this age, master of all elements.
How do they know it's a he?
That's true. Maybe he'd have to be because he's an air nomad and there weren't any women there.
But
Actually, we don't know that.
But Aang talks one of his past lives that was an air nomad.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I love this part.
No fear!
Little kid. He always yells before an attack.
Yep. He's like, snake attack! When he's like way far away.
First, it humanizes Zuko because it's like we see him as like this really badass, like, you know, guy, tough guy, but then it's like he's also still a kid. Don't forget, like.
And what Aang says right here too.
Yeah, they humanize him.
Looking for me?
You're the Airbender? You're the Avatar?
Damn straight.
Hey?
No way.
I forget that they didn't know.
I've spent years preparing for this encounter. Training, meditating.
You're just a child.
Well, you're just a teenager.
He ain't wrong.
He is a teenager. I think he's like 15, right?
I thought he was like
Because I think Katara's like 14, Aang is 12.
probably around there.
If I go with you,
I love that
will
he
you promise to
realizes
leave
he's putting him
everyone
in
alone?
danger.
Kind of like at Kyoshi. Plus, he's so naive at this point. He doesn't know anything that's going on.
Don't worry, Katara.
Well, the other
You'll
thing
be
too
okay.
is none of them know, because there haven't been any airbenders, none of them know that he's a master. His tattoos mean that he's a master.
Fire Nation.
So he can handle himself. He knows that. They don't.
But I feel like he didn't think anything was gonna happen. He's like, oh, what are they gonna do? Take me in for questioning? Like,
Yeah. I love that scene where he's like smiling, but then as soon as it covers his face, he's like, damn.
We have to go after that ship, Sokka. Aang saved our tribe. Now we have to save him.
You'll need these.
That's what I thought you said, Gran.
Ahead of you.
we love a supportive family.
This staff will make an excellent gift for my father. I suppose you wouldn't know of fathers being raised by monks.
Take the Avatar to the prison hold, and take this to my quarters.
Do you notice how differently he speaks
Hey,
this first
mind
season?
taking this
So
to
like
his quarters
regal.
for me?
Formal,
Ugh,
royal.
I bet I could take you both with my hands tied behind my back.
Silence.
I love his attitude here. This is the first time we see airbending as like a fighting technique and some of the things that he can do. And I remember the first time I watched this, I was very impressed. Because I was like, how are you going to use air? Like, I know, yeah, you could fly, that's awesome, but like, how are we going to use it in battle? Like, how is that going to look like?
Fly.
Right.
Soar. Yip.
He's like, here we go. He's like, I'll show you, Sokka. Why don't you keep talking over there?
You did it, Sokka!
Yeah.
Ah! You haven't seen my staff around, have you?
So chill.
That's so cool.
Thanks anyway.
Typical Iroh.
Sorry.
His lips. Hilarious.
This was so smart of Zuko.
My staff.
Looks like I underestimated you.
I actually really like this Zuko. Like, even though he's a villain, but like, I love his drive, his motivation, like, and the whole storyline with his father. Like, I love his character in these parts because he's so like bad. It's cool.
He's so like determined.
Yeah.
And it shows how they're both very smart, but in different ways. Like, that's not part of my job description. And so fearless, he's like, I don't care if I fall, I have to, like, go for it.
Well, yeah, his honor depends on it. Like, I don't care what people say about his ponytail looking weird. I think it's, like, iconic for him.
I do like his short hair better, though.
Wouldn't he have gotten burned there, though?
For that.
I love that they showed us this in the second episode. Because it just gives us a small tease of what his power can be.
I love the Avatar stage so much. It's just so epic. The idea of it is so amazing. Like, if you had all the wisdom of your past lives, that'd be unstoppable.
But I like that they, like, you know, after he does it, he's, like, knocked out.
Yeah, he's like wiped out.
Yeah. Because it shows that it comes with a cost. That was so cool.
Good news for the Fire Lord. The Fire Nation's greatest threat is just a little kid.
That kid, Uncle, just did this.
True.
I won't underestimate him again.
Dig the ship out and follow them.
As soon as you're done with that.
Why didn't you tell us you were the Avatar?
Because I never wanted to be.
The world's been waiting for the Avatar to return and finally put an end to this war.
And how am I going to do that?
According to legend, you need to first master water, then earth, then fire, right?
That's what the monks told me.
Well, if we go to the North Pole, you can master waterbending.
We can learn it
This is the first time we hear the cycle,
And
too.
Sokka, I'm sure you'll get to knock some firebender heads on the way.
Here, we'll ride the hopping llamas. Then way over here, we'll surf on the backs of giant koi fish. Then back over here, we'll ride the hog monkeys. They don't like people riding them, but that's what makes it fun.
He's a kid.
But I really love that they put that in there, that, like, you know, sometimes you don't ask for all that power and responsibility. Sometimes it's just given to you and you gotta deal with it.
Yeah. I really enjoyed the second episode, I think more than the first one, just because you do get to see the Avatar state and you do get to see how powerful, not even how powerful, it's really a tease, but how cool it looks. Like his glowing arrow, his eyes, like all that. Like I remember seeing it the first time and being like, wow, I love this. Like, this is something that's really cool. So I really enjoy that. I like that we got more Zuko. I think Zuko is just one of the most interesting characters, and like I said, I really love how he is at the beginning, like in season 1, how ferocious he is, how determined, and I really just love a character with a lot of conviction. So I really like that. I think that towards the end, like I said, one of the things that I don't really like about the first season as much is that it is a bit more childish, and obviously, like, we do need that setup to understand the second and third season, but you know, like, at the end there, you know, when he's like, oh, we're going to go over here, I'm like, I'm glad they didn't give us an episode of each destination, because that would have been overkill. But I get it. They're kids, and they want to have fun, so that makes sense to me. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I mean, I really agree with a lot of the things that you said. Like, I know when it comes to, like, how when he's in the Avatar state, how he glows and all that, that is one thing that I really miss in Legends of Korra. Is that only her eyes glow, and I'm like, where are the arrows? Like, I feel like I just got so used to all of that, so I really love seeing that. To me, that's like classic Avatar.
It gives it an extra dimension to the look.
I agree with the other things you were saying. Like, that's kind of what I meant earlier by season 1 is a lot of adventure and a lot of them, like, going, doing fun things, a lot of random episodes. But in between that, you're learning a lot of information, and it's kind of setting up for things in the future. Like, they have to fill some space so that it could be like, oh, we kind of wasted time, but now it's a solar eclipse, and now we gotta take this chance, and
there's
all
always
that stuff.
Filler episodes in different TV shows or different shows, but I think they do a really good job of dropping information even in the lure, or in the, I'm sorry, in the filler episodes, but I just think that because season 2 and season 3 are so good that then you watch this and you're just like, it's still good, but it's like, there's greater stuff out there. But
yeah, it's like you have to power through it in order to get to like the really really good stuff.
But it's worth it. I would
Yes.
never tell anyone don't watch season 1. I would never say skip an episode. Like even The Great Divide, which is, you know, the filler episode, I still think that's something that people should watch to understand more of Aang and what he can do and what his job is as the Avatar,
But also
and just the world too.
Yeah, and more of Katara and Sokka. We learn a lot about them in that episode, and they're like kind of like how they think and what they do, and how there are different people in the world.
Yeah, so I would never say to skip an episode, but anyways, guys, that is episode 2. We are on to episode 3, so stay tuned, guys, and we will see you guys in the next one.